For a spread plate, you'll be making a bacterial lawn with growth of bacteria over the entire surface of the tryptic soy agar plate. This is often used to test the effectiveness of antibiotics at inhibiting the growth of specific strains of bacteria. To complete a spread plate inoculation, you'll need your bacterial culture, a sterile cotton swab, and an uninoculated tryptic soy agar plate, or other type of agar plate. Use a permanent marker, like a Sharpie, to label the bottom of your plate with your initials, your class section, and the date. It's a good idea to also write the name of the bacteria with which you'll inoculate each plate. Light the Bunsen burner and adjust the air intake until you can clearly see the inner cone of the flame. Lightly flick or agitate the culture tube to mix the broth to ensure the bacteria are resuspended in the tube. Loosen the caps on the bacterial stock culture tube. Open the package of sterile swabs, but leave the tips inside the package. Handle only the stick end of the swab. Open the bacterial broth tube. Hold the cap with your pinky finger. Briefly pass the open top of the glass tube through the flame to kill any microorganisms that may be contaminating the opening of the tube and could potentially contaminate the culture broth. Carefully dip your sterile swab into the stock broth culture. As you remove the swab from the broth slowly, wring out the excess liquid so as not to drip broth on the benchtop by pressing the swab firmly against the sides of the tube in a circular fashion. Flame the opening of the tube again and replace the lid. Pick up the uninoculated culture TSA plate. Move the cotton swab back and forth across the agar until you reach the bottom of the plate, taking care to completely cover the surface of the agar. Slightly roll the swab between lines so that you may deposit lots of bacteria on the plate. Next, rotate the plate 90 degrees and repeat, so that you're moving the cotton swab perpendicular to the original path of inoculation. Remember, the goal of this type of inoculation is not to create isolated colonies, but rather a continuous, uniform lawn of bacteria. Finally, with the tip of the swab, gently make a circle around the periphery of the plate. Place the swab in a proper disposal container, preferably one that contains a disinfectant, such as Amphil. Close the plate and invert for incubation at the required temperature.